Let's call my girlfriend Nancy, 23 years old, and me, Henry, 25 years old. We've been in a relationship for the last 3 years. During our high school years, at first we were just good friends, but as soon as we started college, we started dating and became closer. As we dated for about 2 years, I spent a lot of quality time with Nancy. We had a lot of fun hanging out and watching movies, and we also had amazing sex together. It was all well at our first, but then once she went on vacation with her friends, everything changed. She came back and I don't know why, but she broke up with me. It's been a long time since we had a conflict, but I don't recall anything like that. When I asked her why she had broken up, she told me that it had to do with her needing time. I was very curious as to why she left me. In my mind, I thought it was possible that she has no longer liked me. However, years later, she revealed to me that it was because she knew I needed to spread my wings and live my life while in college. Nancy's mother was very strict because she was so religious. Therefore, when she learned that Nancy had a boyfriend and had lost her virginity, she couldn't allow her to hang out with her male friends. She locked her in a room. Whatever her mother had done to her, she said she was depressed over all of it. During that time, I decided to take control of my own life, to live according to my rules and expectations that I set for myself. The reason why I was bound to her was that I was financially dependent on her mother when I entered college. I was still governed by the rules and regulations of her mother. Afterwards, she told me that she realized she was not ready for a serious relationship, so she decided to leave me behind. She believed that she wanted to live her life in her own way. She wanted to meet other people, especially boys, get to know them, and spend time with them. If she were in my relationship, she couldn't enjoy that. As a result, she had to leave. Currently, she earns her living by herself and does not even live with her mother anymore, so she is dependent on herself now, and it is now the right time for her to enjoy her independence. She then told me that she wanted me to be in her relationship, however it would be an open relationship. She told me that she wanted to start a serious relationship with me only, but at the same time she wanted to enjoy her freedom right now as well. Then I said, but only under one condition: she would be able to make friends and hang out with them as long as she did not cross her limits. In other words, she was unable to have a physical relationship with any other guy. She had strange expressions on her face, which I remember. However, she agreed to do so. After that, we began dating for 1 week. After that, she told me that she had an old friend who was her friend while we were not in contact. He was very attractive to her and that she was not dating him along with me. It is not my intention to let her start an open relationship with me. However, in order to fulfill her wish, I would allow her to do that if she wanted to start a serious relationship with me. As soon as she told me about her new friend, I was immediately concerned. I felt satisfied because I knew she was committed to me, not crossing her limits, so I was not concerned. However, I was still worried about the situation. Every time she met him, she told me about it. In the meantime, I have not been on dating apps and have been chatting with other people trying to make connections as well. However, they've been talking pretty consistently without moving forward with texts. I am becoming more and more aware that I don't care about the people I date because I just want to spend time with Nancy. Unfortunately, I was helpless until she got serious about our relationship. I worked for the whole week and wasn't able to see her. But at the weekend, when I wanted to meet her, she was with her new friend. For me, seeing her with someone else was getting worse. I cannot help but feel extremely lonely and isolated, as well as jealous of her. I was unable to do so. This is because I was afraid that if I was to express my feelings to her, she would try to end the whole thing and end our relationship. I think mostly I just need someone to express my emotions to and work out how I am feeling. To overcome this problem, I thought that a therapist would be able to help me in some way. There were a few sessions I had with a therapist during which I told him all of my problems and he tried his best to assist me. When I started, it was quite helpful as I was able to express my feelings to him. However, I thought it wasn't right because I wanted to express all my emotions to Nancy not to a therapist, because I wanted to express everything to her. Almost all of the relaxation I did was artificial because I needed Nancy to listen to my feelings and understand them. Although there is no doubt that I felt a bit better with the therapist, it was the same problem I had with Nancy. It was important to me that she spend time with me, but she was still busy with her friend. I felt that she was even ignoring me. Every time I texted her, she replied that she was busy working or with a friend. Although I knew that she loved me, I was just quiet because she wanted to spend her freedom in the manner she wished. Once I decided to talk to her, I messaged her to set up a meeting because it is urgent. I was somehow able to convince her that we should meet in a restaurant, and both of us agreed. When I arrived at the restaurant, she wasn't there on time, so I waited for her for almost 1.5 hours, and she did not arrive. My attempt to contact her in the meantime was unsuccessful since she did not receive my phone call. Even though I was worried, I thought it would be a good idea to go back and speak with her later, but she did not call me back. It wasn't until the next day that I received a text from her informing me that she was sick and had fallen asleep after taking some medicines. As soon as I got her message, I told her to take care of herself. As soon as Nancy broke up with me, I made a fake account on Facebook so I could stalk her through it. When I was on my coffee break, I was scrolling through my Facebook account. She was not aware that it was my account, so I saw her last post, which was yesterday at a bar. There was something strange about the fact that she texted me she was ill and that was why she could not make it to the meeting. While at the time she was at the bar, clearly she was lying to me and she did not want to meet me because she was with her friend. It is clear from what she said that she was lying to me and that she did not want to meet me because she was with a friend. She was quite certain that he was not just a friend of hers, but she wanted him to be more than that as well. In fact, who knows if they have slept or not. Those thoughts were crushing me and I couldn't wait to confront her because I needed her explanation to help me understand what was happening to me. I called her twice after office hours because I needed her explanation. I do not know if she received it or not. Then I headed to her department. She was not aware that it was quite far from the city, but I had to make the trip whatever it took because I wanted to get an answer from her, and so I reached her place quite late at night. I knocked on the door and she came in a night suit, and suddenly I saw slightly behind her on the sofa her friend who did not have a shirt on. It made my heart sink because I got an idea that they were fucking, and I went from her door as if I had not even seen him. It was also a surprise to her to see me in her apartment, and she asked me if it was a good idea for me to inform her beforehand. I was so shocked that I did not even know how to speak at all. There was a feeling of sickness in my stomach as though someone had shot a bullet into my head. As soon as I got back to my house, there were many times Nancy called me, but I did not receive her calls because I had watched it all with my own eyes. I had caught her red-handed. I remember there were hundreds of times when she messaged me, but I did not respond to her because I was broken at the time. A week had passed since the last time she called me, but I have not heard from her since then. In my opinion, it was a good time to move on because she found someone who made her happy. There was a colleague, Julie, of mine at work who I started dating. Due to the fact that Julie always made me her first priority, it was easy for me to get closer to her. I told her all about my past and she accepted that we started dating even though I wanted that kind of girl. After meeting my true love of life, I forgot about Nancy. In the course of time, after 3 months, she called me. I did not receive the call and I was literally ignoring her. Nancy came to my house, but I did not open the door to her, even though I was home at that time. As I lay in bed that night, I was thinking about what she wanted from me. In the aftermath of her breaking my heart, what is she trying to get from me? Why had she approached me, even though I knew I had moved on after all I had seen in her house? The next day, she came to my office to meet me with me. In the cafeteria, I sat with her for a while because I wasn't expecting her to come by. As she expressed to me, she apologized that there was nothing wrong with what happened, that it was simply a mistake, that she did not want to attempt it. In her confession, she confessed that she slept with a guy and then he dumped her after a while. I was feeling bad for her, but now that she was apologizing to me, I realized that it was because she did not value my love and affection. She wanted a serious relationship with me, but I had moved on and got hurt badly, that I couldn't forgive her for what she had done to me. There was a point where she was literally begging me to help her. Although I don't care about that because when I needed her, she did not come to me, and when her AP dumped her, I became a second chance for her. The only thing I wanted to get revenge on her was to get back her for all the pain that she caused me. Afterwards, I simply said, okay, don't worry, I will be with you, but I am not even keen on seeing her. After that day, she started meeting me every day, and she always called me first and chit-chat with me for a long time, but I wasn't interested in it. From the bottom of my heart, I'd hated her. I told Julie everything that I knew because I wanted her to know everything. It was my desire to get revenge on her that made me want to do it. I had pain in my mind as far as the details are concerned. In one of our conversations, Nancy mentioned that she wanted to move into my house one day. I told Julie that Nancy was about to move into my house and this would be the last thing I would be prepared to do for her. At first, Julie wasn't comfortable with me getting her shift in my house, and I made a promise to her that I would never come near to her or anything like that. I'm doing all this just to get the revenge that I deserve. Then I said, okay, you can do that, and I was just doing that because I was planning something that was going to destroy that bitch. So I said, sure, you can. It used to be that she would tell me that she wanted me to marry her because I was just waiting for the right moment, and then one day it was time to propose her. I proposed to her that she was going to be happy with that, and so she started preparing for the wedding. As the wedding day approached, the wedding preparations began. While she was in the church, she came and saw me and Julie, and we became husband and wife while she was there. Suddenly, she began to cry and shout. Nevertheless, I was happy because that was my plan, besides the fact that me and Julie were both willing to get married, and I told Nancy the wrong time to come to the church, and I was happy. My revenge has been exacted. It is sad that she is devastated because she was expecting me to marry her, but I was getting married to Julie instead. In my opinion, she deserves what I have done to her. When I needed her, she was enjoying her freedom, and now it is my turn to enjoy my life on my own terms. I would like to encourage you to subscribe and hit the bell icon to keep up with more interesting stories in the future.